We're going to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, to the Bayash the house of David. This is menofvalor Las Vegas camp, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. You're the true children of the Bible. All right, salvation belongeth unto you and you alone. All right, no other nation has the opportunity, all right, at salvation. But you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. All right, you ultimately must be a part of the elect of the nation of Israel to receive salvation on this go-round. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into these scripts through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
This is Proverbs 31 and verse 1. It says, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son? And what the son of my womb? And what the son of my vows?
Right, so the King Lemuel, all right, if you look up his name, Lemuel goes back into chosen, all right, and it's chosen by the Most High, all right? So Bahashem Yahweh Shai chose him, all right, and the mother, the vow of the mother, all right? Go ahead.
Give not the strength unto a woman, nor the ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Right, give not thy strength unto a woman, all right? So Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, we understand that this is a twofold scripture, all right? But Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai said, give not thy strength to a woman, all right? A physical woman, you being a man of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, you being a man in general, of the nation of Israel especially, all right? You are not to give your strength unto a woman. Here it is, brothers are starting to suffer and go through these things, with these women of this world, all right? Coming up against you, you see divorces at an all-time high, all right? Women are talking, out of the side of their neck, all right? Households are being destroyed in mere moments, all right? Just from a simple word from the pride of women, all right? And you're starting to see it more often, okay? It is becoming a epidemic, all right?
It's been a trend.
It's been a trend, but now it's becoming an epidemic.
Right, it's because, same way, the scriptures talk about, Babylon the Great, or Satan coming down with great wrath because he knows that he have but a short time. Well, the woman is put on a pedestal, all right, in this current rulership. All right, so they just as that devil, is coming down with great wrath, they're heightened, all right, because they're trying to hold on to make things last. They're trying to hold on to something that's fading away. So they going all out too, because they just like in the garden, all right, with the serpent that they had a pact with, all right, to receive things that they weren't never supposed to receive, all right. They that same pact is here today,
right? And she received those false things, all right. It
Yeah.
wasn't true knowledge that was given. It was deceit that was given unto her, all right. Because to understand, to tell a lie, you must know a little bit of the truth, all right. So the devil, sprinkled a little bit of truth in there,
well,
but
it was knowledge. It was knowledge that the serpent gave her. It was knowledge of both good and evil.
Right.
But it wasn't for Eve, because she was a descendant, of the righteous seed line.
Right. And when I'm saying it like that, when I'm saying it like that, as the brother said, it was never for her to receive it. All right. So if she was never supposed to receive it, it was already deceit from the beginning. Right? Because wisdom wasn't imparted unto her. All right. It was never for her to understand the true mysteries of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's word without the hedge of a man. All right. And what she tried to do, is receive it herself. All right. Absorbing authority over a man. All right. got it. And then you pull
It's
yours.
Proverbs 7, and I'm going to start at verse 24. It says, "Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thou heart declare to her ways, go not astray in her paths."
Right, go not astray in her paths. Once again, this is talking about a physical woman. Don't follow after a physical woman. Your woman is supposed to follow after you. All right, and then as well as wisdom and knowledge. All right, you don't follow the wayward doctrine. You follow the true doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, you don't follow after these false prophets, these false idols, the cares of this world. What this world holds to such a high esteem, modern day Christianity. All right, hey, all these other false religions. All right,
You know, the Western philosophy and these other doctrines is likened unto a strange woman, you know, in the scripture. Point.
It says, "For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death."
Right. Hey, following a woman will lead you to the way of death. All right. Not only strange doctrine, all right, but a physical woman. Typically, hey, how many men have been set up? Been set up, hey, for lick. All right. Hey, there has been a continuous example throughout history. All right.
Samson getting getting tricked by the woman, cutting his hair.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You have a lot of accounts of men. King Solomon with women, you know, his wives, you know.
A way to start worshiping other gods.
Right. Hey, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, hey, gives clear example.
Was that Ahab?
Yeah,
you know,
that's the spirit.
Following Jezebel.
Yep. All right. You can be deceived and led astray by a woman. All right, because the glory of a man is his woman. A twofold scripture. All right. Hey, first and foremost, it should be the woman of wisdom. All right, Sophia. All right, that's the woman you should truly cling unto. That's the right. All right. No, that's the spirit. But Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, hey, gives Sophia, all right, hey, to be your true mate. She's the one, hey, that you obtain her, and she gives unto you, and she's obedient unto you in a way. All right, because you're obedient unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. The word is, as you are submissive unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's word, it allows you to be the head of your household, being a man of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Being an Israelite man gives you the authority in the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay? Obtaining that wisdom will help you lead your house in the right way. Okay?
The scriptures does say that Yahweh is the head of man, and the head of man is a woman.
Right.
You know, and the woman, her glory would be what? Over the children.
That's why Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is likened his men unto women.
The divine order.
All right? That order. We are the women of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We do as we are told. We follow as he leads us. All right? It's not the other way around. All right? Our blessings, our grace, and our mercy from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Therefore, being physical men in the world, all right, that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has ordained us to be, we are therefore able to lead the women, the physical women of our household. All right? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai made no mistakes on order. That was it. All right. Rashi got it.
All right, this is I'm gonna get 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8, and it says, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man." Verse 9, "Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man."
Right. The man was not created for the woman. The woman was created for the man. All right. Even though that you may be a man's glory, you were still created, hey, to be in purpose for him. All right. For the duality of each other. All right. So that the man would lead and you would follow. So when the man plants seed, hey, the woman brings forth the fruit. All right. Bears the fruit of a child. All right. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has given the duality in all things.
It's that righteous partnership.
Right.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 13. It says, "For Adam was first formed, then Eve." Verse 14, "And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression."
Right. The woman was in the transgression of the law of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, absorbing authority over a man, going and talking to this serpent. That serpent being not a physical snake, but just being a slick ass talking Jake. All right, able to say, "Hey man, hey baby, I'll give you this. Listen to me, I got you. I'll hold you down."
I want to say Jake, but
Yeah.
you know.
All right, he got game.
Yeah.
All right.
Loose lips slick.
That's all I have for that. Oh, and just going up a script, 1 Timothy 2 and 11, it says, "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection." Verse 12, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence."
Right, to be in silence. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, said it is not permitted for a woman to talk in the church. It is not permitted that a woman be over a man. All right, this is that new thing. All right, this is that new thing that a woman is over man. It is that the wisdom of this world overtook the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's a new thing. All right, that wickedness is so great in the earth that you can be and have folly in the world and everything is okay and everybody applauds it. That's a new thing. Right? And they praise it, they uplift it. All right, it's what's popular. All right, righteousness is frowned upon. Discipline is frowned upon. All right, but debauchery, whoredoms, deceitfulness, lies is glorified. Violence glorified. All right, you got it, Darash.
All right, going back to 1 Timothy 2. I already read that first slap here.
Yeah, I called for Sirach.
Yes, that's what I got it. Sirach chapter 25, verse 24. And it says, "Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die."
Right, of the woman came the beginning of sin. All right, and through her we all die. Everything, her going off and listening, all right, listening to that slick talking, devil, all right, became the beginning of sin. All right, that is how we begin to go off as well. Through her disobedience, we furthered the disobedience. All right, because we were not in rulership of our household.
And that's one of the curses we have to endure. Sirach 25 and 25, it says, "Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad."
Right, give the water no passage. Don't give room for her to tell you what to do. All right, you are to help direct her steps. You are to help direct her way. Matter of fact, drop down to 26 and 11.
Sirach 26, verse
Read
11.
it to the break.
Sirach 26 and 11. "Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee."
Right, watch over her with the impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespassed against you. All right, here it is. You are not supposed to. She did what she did. Don't put her on such a high scale that you don't believe that she wouldn't do anything against you because you that dude, because you got it. All right. Know that she will do it against you. Know that she will go up. All right. Does not the scripture says give honor to the woman as the weaker vessel? All right. So if something's weaker, understand that you have to first position her and put her in the order under your order through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that she may follow and obtain that grace and mercy, that she is able to hold herself to a higher standard. Okay.
Sirach 26 and 12. "She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler, When he hath found
Go, Salakia. Go and read 11 again.
Sirach 26 and 11. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee.
Right. So marvel not if trespass against you. Why? Because it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen that she, comes against you and goes against the order that is set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in this day and this time, in this age. All right. This is a part of the curses, as the brother has said earlier. All right. Her not obtaining that wisdom, all right, was ordained by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai ultimately so she could be led. Okay. Because there's no reason for a leader if you both have everything. If you know exactly what it is and you are both on the same level and the same scale, how can I lead you? Right, there's no respect, especially in a male vessel and a female vessel. All right, you think you are on equal playing fields. What is not a deception of this world? Equality. All right, women want equality, equal pay, equal rights. All right, we want what the man has, but not held to the same standard as the man. How is that equal? All right. How are you going to take a fireman test and then not have to do as many push-ups, not have as be as strong, not have to carry as much weight?
So they got to level the playing field.
Right. Hey, how much more when it comes, to the natural nature of things? We are not equal. It is a duality, but is never meant to be equal. It's meant to be complementary to one another. All right. And lucky. I think it's 24, 26, and 24.
Sirach 26 and 24, it says, a dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman
Shame, a dishonest woman. And this is exactly what a lot of these women out here are. Dishonest. All right. You can't be a woman entertaining another man. You can't be a woman and say, oh, I have 15 male friends. All right. And they're my besties. All right. They would never. How many shows is there that they say, hey, call him right now. Call him right now and tell him you no longer with your boyfriend. And I bet you he say, yeah, he'll make a pass at you.
Yeah, the YouTubers that go and interview couples.
Yeah.
And then they do the phone swap.
Yeah, phone swap. Hey, everything.
Women are not even supposed to have male friends anyway.
Right.
Some women just dip off right there because they don't want to
Can't do it.
Right. Hey, she don't want her wickedness to be shown. All right.
And they'll never, even when they go find the evidence, they still won't own up to it.
Right. Oh, it's just a friend. It's just happened. It's just this one time, but there's 17 different messages.
They won't even admit to that one time. They won't admit to that one time. Because in their eyes, they can't do no wrong.
Right.
The biggest thing is that word that they scared of and they run from.
Accountability. Right. Hey, social media has given these women options. All right. It's given them, before Big Mama, Grandmammy had to go across the tracks and she couldn't get caught. It was a lot harder for her to get caught. All right. It was a lot harder to see Jeffro, Devontae, or Jorge in the next town. Yeah. Or even Mr. Smith. Okay. It took a lot more effort. Now it's effortless. Hey, hit me in my DM. All right.
I mean, they posted about it. Yeah.
Right.
I make a song about it all day.
It used to be mama's baby, daddy's maybe. All right. Yes, that sort of still stands today. But these women, further continue to have no shame, and they'll tell you, I was with 3 dudes yesterday. I had the choo-choo on me. And be proud about it. Boast about it. All right? Make a video of it. Hey, man, give not thy strength unto a woman that destroyeth kings. All right? And this is exactly throughout these ages and throughout this time, hey, kings have been destroyed.
The scriptures say that many men have ran out of their wits for women and became servants for their sake.
Right. Hey, servants for their sake.
Have sinned for them too.
And that's the destruction of the kingdom. All right.
That's simple.
Right. Not only raising those kids, the kids and young men in a single parent household with no guidance and no direction, no masculinity. All right. Hey, allowing your sons to become your daughters, figuratively and physically. All right.
Definitely.
That's an atrocity unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It's an atrocity unto the nation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and the very substance of the essence of everything that is in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which is all things. Right?
This is. You may continue on that.
Continue on that.
It says here, Sirach 26 and 24. Again, it says, a dishonest woman contemn the shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband.
Right, an honest woman will reverence her husband. To give reverence and to love the direction and the guidance of your husband, hey, is a blessing unto you. It is a blessing unto your children. It is a blessing unto the household. It is a blessing unto the nation. All right? What won't a man do for his family if his family is following the directions that are given to them? And how much more a man of the nation of Israel following Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? Is it not glorious to be in order, to give the praise of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the household, to be able to have the house run as nature intended it through the will and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? It's a blessing.
Verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
A woman that is shameless, she proud, and pride, bringing forth destruction. But counted as a dog, worthless. All right. Hey, that's the definition of a bitch. But just have no act right.
That's just like the women out here.
Completely, out of order, out of line, loud, clamorous. That's a shame. As the scripture says, it's a shame to the father, really to the whole family.
Yeah. Hey, because how many YouTubers do you see with their it'll be a YouTuber talking to an OF model, all right, and then they'll talk to the little brother, and the little brother's like, "I'm getting bullied and beat up at school, man. Like, this is a shame. Like, you was a straight A student, and this is what you chose to do, right?"
And all his friends are showing him.
And all the friends are showing him and everything.
Right, he got to deal with that. Like, a lot of women don't understand that what they do. Once that, some of them try to keep it a secret, but hey, the families get broken up over that shit.
Yep.
It's like, damn, you gotta worry about, your daughter or your, just the imagery alone without even seeing it. But when somebody's bringing it to your attention like this,
Right.
I don't want to see my daughter, my sister, my mom getting slutted out.
Right. Right.
And what is being brought to the light because the internet. But they still don't have no shame.
Right.
So my dad don't talk to me no more.
But I made a bag though.
57 million.
But then they'll blow it. There's other accounts where they don't have shit now. And
exactly.
Or the dad, he got invited over for Akil Givens, right? And he was like, "Where do you get your money from? Your OFs? I don't need this shit." Because he know what his daughter was doing to get the money, and that was the shame. Like he was ashamed because why? His friends is talking about it. You got your friends talking about how your daughter's getting pounded,
Yeah.
and they fans of it.
So and that's why the Lord's bringing a great humbling, you know, to not only the daughters of Zion, but every woman with a pride lifted up.
Yep.
Right? She that is my enemy. You know, we tread like the mire in the street.
Yep.
Micah 7 and 7. Sirach 26 and 25. A shameless woman should be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
Right. Hey, and when you're shameless, hey, you have no fear. All right. If you don't have fear for the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and especially the man of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai who's supposed to be over you, how much more do you not reverence, hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? All right. That's exactly why he's gonna do it himself. All right. He's gonna show you himself. So you will have true fear. This is gonna be that everlasting fear. Okay.
Verse 26, it says, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all.
Right. That honoreth her husband. Honor. All right. What is to honor? All right. To praise. Hey, to glorify. All right. To hold to a high esteem. You hold him higher than you said, my Lord. You put him on a pedestal.
Give him well, really the believing in him. You know, you show your faith to your man that he's making the right decisions for you.
Right.
All right. When something is spoken on, you know, it's not that you just don't talk back because he'll explain it to you, but that you have the confidence in the things that you can't see.
Right.
That's the same relationship that, you know, the men of the Lord have in Yahweh Shimon Shai, through the chastisement. And sometimes we gotta look outside, think outside the box. Maybe what I'm going through, I might not understand it, but he got something else better for me.
Going to, back to verse 26, Sirach 26 and 6 continuing, it says, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all.
Right. Counted ungodly. All right. Hey, worth nothing. A betrayer. All right. Unholy, unclean. All right. Unjust, unfit. All right.
Proverbs 12 and 4 say, a righteous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bones.
Right. Hey, there's a crown. Hey, that's my woman right there. Hey, she's submissive. She's obedient. Right. She's obedient unto the order. Whose order? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's order. Therefore, if it's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's order, and I'm a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, I am to enforce the order. All right, is the orders that are given unto me. So the order of my household is to follow after Yahweh Bashim Yahushai in return as I am following after Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. His way is the right way. And his way gives me the authority to lead you in the right way. Because the portion, as you read down, Darash, read down on that, Sirach, for a portion of a wicked man is given unto a wicked woman.
Sirach 26, I think it's in 25. It's in 24, probably.
Should be 25 and 20.
I think it's 25 and
It's 26 and 23.
oh, okay, that was right there. So, okay, this is Sirach 26 and 23. It says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
Right. A wicked woman is given unto a wicked man. All right. So, hey, if your woman, hey, is straight wicked, all right, know that, hey, take the beam out of thy own eye. All right. You have to examine yourself. Examine yourself, because if that woman is wicked, there's something that you're not doing right. All right. And if you just happen so-called to get a wicked woman, all right, and you happen not to be wicked, you fell into lust, all right, behind a woman, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai will remove that woman from you. Okay?
He could also change that woman's mind.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Right? Hey, because it might, the process of her needing to receive guidance is going to change her. That is why you are meant to lead a woman and she's not meant to lead you. You can help her change her ways, in essence.
That's only if she's willing to listen.
Right.
We're not out here saving her.
Right. It's in the submission. All right. She first has to submit, essentially, to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, to submit to you, because that's the order. And submitting unto you is her submitting unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because you are supposed to be a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, leading her in the correct and proper way.
Yeah, they gotta come. Yeah. Ultimately, they gotta be, that fold of the elect, or played a lot of a helper unto you.
Right.
The Lord gonna only display that. He gonna show you, whether or not you're supposed to be dealing with, and you should have that discernment anyway. But the majority of these women, they wicked. So it's, hey, as Paul said, it's best not to deal with them.
Yeah, bird. So he opened in the package right there.
And going up a verse, Sirach 26 and 22. It says, Sirach 26 and 22, it says, "An harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is tower against death to her husband."
Right. So that's all for you, all you women who don't need a man. All right. A harlot. I don't need a man. All right. I do what I do when I want to do it. I'm my own boss. I'm my own husband.
My body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
Well, that's part of the delusion that Esau gave, the woman, is that, that you don't need, that hedge no more.
Right.
You could be the own hedge underneath the provided, surveillance. Yeah. So, yeah.
But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband, meaning, as a tower against death to your husband, you are to be that man's, basically his support system.
Yeah. Yeah, that term of power couple.
Yeah.
But really, hey, he is the hedge of protection to you. All right. He's your protector. You really can't provide protection to a man. Well, the only way you could do that is if you're a believer and he's not. He could be saved through your faith. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty of it, that man is your salvation. That's why, Isaiah 4:1, it said, take away my reprieve unto her. Because it's shame for a woman to not be able to bear children.
Yep. This right here.
That's what that reproach is going into. You had
because back in the ancient times, women, that was the one thing that they wanted most, when have a man and bear his kids. Nowadays, it's completely opposite now.
Yep.
Well, what did David do? Was that the daughter of Saul?
Withheld children, withheld seed from her.
Right.
And she lived in her 90s.
She mocked him.
Yeah.
Actually, she mocked him, and then, you know, 'cause she had that jealous spirit,
Yeah.
you know.
Because he was dancing.
He was in there partying with you know, women having a good time.
You're right. With concubines. All right. Hey, and you know, it had to be a woman that belonged to him. All right. As the brother's getting the account. Yeah, you should pull that as he's getting that account.
This is Sirach 36:24. It says, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a portion, a help, a possession." So like I start all over. Sirach 36:24 says, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest."
Right. So if you get a wife, you speak it to the speaker.
Yeah, I said they're looking for somebody.
Yeah. If you get a wife, you get a possession. All right. So Yahweh Shimi Awashai, hey, is telling you, all right, when you receive a wife, and what is a concubine? A lesser wife. You get a possession.
You know, ultimately, when you become your husband's possession, and to put it bluntly, you become his property. You become part of his personal space.
Hey, you become not even just his property. You become his responsibility. All right. And a man only take care of what he loves, what he holds precious, and what he holds dear to him, what he cares about. All right. A man doesn't get a car and not care about it. All right. He does maintenance on it. He keeps it up, whether he does it himself or he takes it into the dealership to make sure the proper person is working on it. All right. Hey, Yahweh Shemi Al Shabrak. All right. So that Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, hey, gives us that discernment. All right. Take care as it goes into 1 Corinthians 11. All right. As I say, hey, take care of your body. Who would do anything against their body? Okay. In this day and time, yes, we do it through lack of wisdom and lack of knowledge. All right. But when you start finding the wisdom and knowledge, you now, hey, try to dial back and do things that are pleasing unto your body. Stop eating shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster. Okay. Stop eating so much fast food. Stop eating abominable things and things that are hurt you. If you know you can't have something that you're allergic to it when you used to eat it, but now you're allergic to it, what are you going to do? You're going to continue to eat it? All right, you can't have nuts, but you're going to continue to eat peanuts? All right? Don't make no sense. And if you do, that's what? That's straight foolishness. Like that story about DMX eating seafood. All right? Shrimp and everything. He was allergic to it. And he still ate it. Right? He was like, I know I'm allergic to it, but shit, I just love it. That's dumb. Right?
No. I had this one for you.
Yeah,
This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 15, and it says, "The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame."
right. A rod and reproof give wisdom. All right. A twofold scripture. All right. That rod of correction. All right. That rod of correction for a child is what? And if you had any kind of parents, the rod of correction was at least a spoon, a paddle, a belt, switch. All right. Whatever it's going to take for you to feel a little bit of physical pain so you understand that I'm not playing. All right. And not to do it again. But a rod of correction for your woman is giving her the giving her that D. All right. Hey, it's not only in pleasurable making and bringing forth seed and raising a family. All right. Most men have dealt with in their life. Hey, you had a woman and she just needs some get right, needs some act right. You go in there, you do what you do, and then she's better. She's acting right.
Go get you a hot meal.
Right. Now she's cooking and everything, and then what she do? I'm sorry. All right. Oh no. We always, hey, all praises to God. All right.
As it says, a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. That's talking about how a child that has no guidance, he has no discipline. And what are you women supposed to do? You're supposed to not just take care of the house, but also help guide the kids according to your husband's instruction. And if you don't do that, your child is left to his own imagination, his own devices, and ultimately does shit to get in trouble, and it's going to bring you to shame because you're supposed to be the one teaching him what to do.
Right. Hey, it brings both the shame. Not only shame for the kids, shame for the father, shame for the mother. All right. Shame unto the nation. Hey, that's why wickedness was cut out the nation. That's why Yahweh Shem Shai has certain laws. Your son or daughter talking back and going off. Hey, we ain't gonna let it get too far. That's what Yahweh Shem Shai. It's not gonna go too far. Give them 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Get out of there. All right. You got the account?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it in the GNC. I'm just gonna hop around. This is 2 Samuel 6 and 16. Actually, I'm gonna start at 14. It says, David, wearing only a linen cloth around his waist, danced with all his might to honor the Lord Yahweh. And he said, and so he and all the Israelites took the covenant box, which is the Ark of the Covenant, up to Jerusalem with shouts of joy and the sounds of trumpets. As the box was being brought into the city, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked out the window and saw King David dancing and jumping around in the sacred dance, and she was disgusted with him. Dropping down to verse 20, it says, afterward, when David went home to greet his family, Michal came out to meet him. The king of Israel, this is what the king of Israel made a big name for himself today, she said. Now, so she mocking him. He exposed himself like a fool in the sight of the servant women of his officials.
The sight of the servant women officials. Servants
of his officials.
Of his officials.
So in front of all his officials, concubines, of his concubines.
Yep.
Since David answered, I was dancing to honor the Lord Yahweh, who chose me instead of your father and his family to make he was talking shit.
Right.
He pretty much put her back in her place. I was dancing to honor Yahweh, who chose me instead of your father and his family to make me the leader of his people,
right.
Israel.
Don't get it twisted. This is King David saying, hey, don't forget or don't think. All right, it is the Most High who chosen me for this. All right, and if I want to dance, a righteous dance in front of my concubines, in front of my servants, in front of your handmaids, which is my concubine, and her maids that are under her, which belong to me, I will do as I please.
Because he pretty much had his undergarments on.
Yeah.
It's not like she was butt naked, just wearing drawers.
Right.
Not having no Diddy party and shit. It wasn't like that. It was just his undergarments were like his long john. Think of like long john.
Right. But that's something that we're not supposed to do, and we didn't do in the ancient world. You didn't answer the door in your undergarments and be like, hey, oh yeah, come on in, dog. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about my girl. She's just in her nightgown.
Yeah, let me finish it out. It says,
I'm in my drawers.
and will disgrace myself It says, and I will go dancing to honor the Lord, and will disgrace myself even more. You may think I am nothing, but those women will think highly of me. Michal, Saul's daughter, never had any children. You know,
Yep.
pretty much, King David, put her away. I think it might say that.
Yeah. I think it says next chapter.
Because I think it starts out like that, if I remember. Yeah. You good?
But she ultimately got put away. All right, where she didn't have the blessing to bear children. Now that was a shame unto her. All right, so she had to what? She had to receive uh, 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 scoffing and mocking. Look at her. She's a woman that has no children, and that's the king's wife. All right, she has no blessing. All right, for a woman to be able to bear children is a blessing of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, specifically designed for a woman.
And you know what? That version in 14.
Right, specifically designed for a woman. It's not something that a man was meant to do nor can do.
Yeah, and that version was often when it said that he was dancing around in his undergarments. So Slakia, wearing only a linen cloth around his waist. That they, in the KJV it says, and David danced before the Lord with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So, that was a bad translation on that. He was just, not wearing all his, but pretty much he was showing the reason why she was just jealous at the point that he was having fun out celebrating with his people.
Right.
You know, they don't want you to have no fun.
They still do that today.
He showed like a softer side of himself.
Softer side of Caesar.
He took away the the king, not taking away the kingly nature, but he went out to people. He wasn't like untouchable. You know, like certain people, you can't go with them because he's on a different status. And he ain't seen in public dancing with everybody.
You got a break?
Yeah. Just going into how this is concerning Elkanah, the son of Jeroham. This is Samuel 1, 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 1. And it says, now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. Let's see. And drop down to verse 4, and it says, verse 4, and when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, and her adversary, who also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Yahweh had shut up her womb. So that right there tells you, back then, you could have, if a woman desired to have children, but if Yahweh shut up her womb, that was ultimately Yahweh Shai's decision. It's like, no, you're not having children right now. But you can have, but this man's gonna have children with her. And back then, her adversary being the other woman, Peninnah, she provoked her. So in a way, it was kind of like competition between women back then to see who's gonna have his kids first, me or you, like that.
Right. Hey. And what the brother was trying to get to, the point what she was getting to, is that it is yet a blessing to have to be able to bear children, right? And women hold bearing children as not just a necessarily such a competitive nature, but it is a favor. It is a favor of the Lord to be able to bear a child. All right, a blessing unto you. All right.
Proverbs 2:1, it says, My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my covenants with thee, so that they incline thou ear unto wisdom, and apply thou heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures.
Right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai say, applying your wisdom, apply his wisdom to all things. All right. Apply the wisdom unto the to dealing with women. All right, in your life, the physical woman, but apply your wisdom and knowledge to deal with Sophia, to gain Sophia, that you may gain her. All right. Sophia is wisdom. All right. It is the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
It's basically the best woman to have.
Right.
It's the best.
Yeah, now this is that twofold. All right. This is that twofold. Now we talked about the physical woman. We're going to talk about through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the wisdom of discipline, the woman of discipline, the woman of knowledge. All right. Wisdom that is imparted unto us through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because what does the scripture say? Wisdom will try you by what? Crooked ways. All right. She will test you. No,
she's going to deal with you.
Right.
And flow with you. And not date you, but also just marry you. You say, don't date, but to marry you.
Right. It's like the woman of the world test you. A woman plays these games in the world. I'm gonna have my friend call them just like the YouTube videos and everything to test you. The reason why that's successful and it's a trend is because it is really in them to try to test you in some way, shape, or form. All right? They're testing to see, does he love me? Does he care about me? Would he do this for me? All right? How many Eves you got going barking at a dude and say, I'm gonna get my man. I'm gonna get my man. All right? Oh, he touched me. Oh, he looked at me. Right? He looked at me. He looked at me the wrong way. Well, how were you dressed first and foremost? All right? If you dress like a harlot, you're gonna get stares like a harlot. All right? Hey, we're getting on wisdom, true wisdom. All right? Hey, Sophia. All right, you got it. You got something?
Yeah, I'm gonna you guys can continue.
He's got one more. He's got one more.
Proverbs 2:5. Then shall they understand the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and find the knowledge of the Most High.
Right. Then you'll understand the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai by what? Obtaining the wisdom and the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The beginning of fear in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is understanding with wisdom and knowledge. With all thy getting, get wisdom and get knowledge. All right? Understanding it, what it is to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, hey, is to have fear unto his word. All right? The word. To have fear unto his son, that the Most High, hey, spoke into existence. All right? The very essence of him. Have fear. Okay? You got it.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 23. It says, for the Most High created man to be immortal, made him to be an image for his own eternity. That goes back, to the garden. How he originally intended, Adam to be made when he put that breath of life into him, was to be a God, all right, to be a power, all right, and then through, as it says right here, nevertheless, through envy of the devil, came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it, shall find it. When Eve went off, and got tricked, pretty much tricked by the devil, the serpent, to go and eat of the different philosophies of that tree, the other tree, when you already had the tree of life, in front of you. All right. Now, when you went and ate what they said is the apple, which is just the philosophy of these other nations, you saw the worldly benefits of it, but you lost, all right, from disobedience and seeing what these other nations had, all right, and the power that came from it on the left-hand side, you played yourself out of what was already given to you, the blessing that was already given to you. You know? And then I'm going to go here to Wisdom of Solomon, the 8th chapter. And it says in verse 17, it says, "Now, when I considered these things in myself and pondered them in my heart, how that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality."
Right, to be allied, to be on one accord with, all right? To have that partnership, all right? To trust one another, to be subject unto one another in its order.
That's ally. The Lord is, his mate. The Most High's mate is wisdom. Okay, and that's how we get that power back, is going back through the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shai, returning unto that wisdom.
Right. He said it is a reflection of his own eternity. His own, what belongs to him, what he is. Is not the Most High, hey, the Father before time? All right.
The Ancient of Days.
The Ancient of Days.
Father of spirits.
Father of spirits, right? All things consist by him and for him. All right?
So again, is there really such thing as free will? No.
All right? There's just purpose.
That's why I have this.
What's your purpose for? Hold that. All right?
So Proverbs 4:1, it says, "Hear ye children, the instruments, the instructions of the Father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, Let thou heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live."
Right. Obtain his word being received. We understand Yahushua is the word. All right, so we must obtain him. We must obtain his order, his direction, his guidance that was given by the Father. As the Father imparted him to be wisdom, knowledge, and understanding unto us. So we could obtain what? His salvation, the reflection of his salvation. You see, our salvation in our mind right now is not even really just in how glorious Yahweh Shem Shai's salvation is. And we think upon, hey, the men of Yahweh Shem Shai, through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, think about our salvation righteously to the best of our ability, and it still can't compare to the righteousness of the salvation of Yahweh Shem Shai, the reflection of his salvation. Understand that it is glorious beyond the wildest dreams, beyond the understanding on this side. That is his salvation. We have not yet seen, but we marvel at only that which we know, because it's sufficient for now. We want it.
Thirsty.
All right. It says all you that desire thrones and rubies,
or to sit on those who desire to scepters and sit on
scepters and sit on thrones. Right.
Wisdom 6 and 20 and 21. Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah. This is then I got a pre. This is Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 20. It says, "Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to the kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore."
Right. Honor wisdom that you may reign forevermore. In the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, in righteousness and just and rulership, in the glory and honor of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that you rule accordingly to his word, his way. He said, I will give you an everlasting life and a kingdom. You will be a kingdom of kings and priests, and it shall never end. Never. So this is how long you are looking to obtain wisdom, forever. This is what you should be looking for, forever, ever. Forever.
Ever?
Ever, ever.
Like really
Ever. You got it, Darash.
This is Proverbs chapter 5, verse 7. It says, "Yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward." Verse 8, "I would seek unto the Most High, and unto the power would I commit my cause."
Right. You are to commit your cause unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Commit yourself. All right? Everything that you do, in essence, should be geared towards kingdom-minded. You should be kingdom-minded in all things. Through the will and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, to the best of your ability. To judge aright, to live accordingly. All right?
And that's when it says in verse 7 again. It says, "Yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward." So look at the place that we're born into. We're born into hell. And as the sparks fly upward, as we grow, develop, mature, and we get to know what this world is all about, things get a little harder when you're in this truth.
But it is a place of judgment. All right? It is the place of judgment that we are to be in to become the judges. We have to go through it. It has to happen. You have to endure through the will and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, no matter what it is. All right? It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be just a breeze. Wisdom is going to try you in crooked ways to see if she may dwell with you.
And that's why, going back to verse 8, it says, "And I would seek unto the power and unto the Most High would I commit my cause." So, yes, we're born into this hell to go through this adversity, but you have a purpose. So you can't allow yourself to be distracted by all this stuff out here. You got to commit that cause unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's going to keep you. That's going to keep you. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually focused on what you need to do.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 9 and verse 11. It says, "For she knoweth and understandeth all things, and she shall lead me soberly in my doings, and preserve me in her power. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge thou people righteously, and be worthy to sit in my father's seat."
Right? Hey, here it is. Wisdom is likened unto a woman, right? What is the head? What is a righteous and what we could consider as the head wife? All right? The wife who's been with you the longest, knows how to please you the most. What is she to do with a woman under her? Can somebody get that? A woman is supposed to do what? What is a woman's job to do? She has two jobs. All right? Her two main jobs.
Titus 2. This is the book of Titus, chapter 2, starting at verse 3. It says, the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers,
Becoming holiness, not as false accusers. Go ahead.
not given to much wine, teachers of good things. Verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed.
So what does Sophia do? Sophia does all those things. If the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are likened unto a woman, Sophia is the head wife. She is the one that keeps us in order unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We follow Sophia, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that is given. All right? She, as Yahweh, put Yahweh Shai over us. As we are married unto him, the order, the head of man, all right, the head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. The head of man is Yahweh Shai, Yahweh. The head of the woman is the man, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh. All right, in order. So if we are women unto, if Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has 144,000 wives, all right, in the spirit, we are subject unto the head wife so that she led us in the right way to please our Lord. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It is that you should desire. It is that you should want above all things.
Because with her, you get everything. You get everything. And there's accounts on that. King Solomon. You get all things.
Right?
Yeah, this is where'd it go? First Peter 3, First Peter 3 and verse 5, it says, for after this manner in old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. So how do you please the Most High? They made themselves, instead of, which this chapter goes into, instead of putting all of the fancy ornaments and everything on, and making themselves look better, they adorn themselves in the subjection of their husbands. That's how they gain the attraction and the favor from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters are ye, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers not be hindered. So, and that's the same relationship, as this brother was going into, that we have with, our bridegroom, Yahweh Shah, being that servant, instead of putting on the making our garments phylacteries, and being all the time we focus on the truth, the correct breakdown, getting that true understanding, because that's what's going to pertain and be most important to salvation. It's not going to be who got the biggest camp, who make the most profit off of videos. At the end of the day, is who is speaking sound doctrine.
Right. Who obtain the mysteries, who obtain the discipline that comes with wisdom and the obedience.
Performing, being an example to the flock, but performing the Father's business to a T, the way He wanted it.
Right. Hey.
And He say, go and sell the truth.
Yep.
You say make a way for the Gentiles to get salvation. You know, none of that's scriptural. You know, and that's the delusion that the Most High has put on these people, because what's happening right now is a sifting.
Right.
You know, more, you know, that line is being drawn in the sand between who's right and who's wrong with the Lord.
Right.
And that's all it is. The blind gonna continue to follow those false prophets.
Right. Because what did Yahweh Shem Yahushua say? Hey, give not that which is holy unto the dogs. All right. Hey, that's 2/3 of the nation of Israel, as well as these heathen nations. All right. This is Yahweh Shem Yahushua's word. It's truth. All right. His testimony.
Yeah, this is the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 17, and it says, "Shall mortal man be more just than the power? Shall a man be more pure than his maker?" Verse 18, "Behold, he put no trust in his servants, and his angels he charged with folly." So, is a man supposed to be more just than the Most High? No, because man, as the scriptures say, you know, my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. I am from above and you are from beneath. So how can the creator be, how can the creation be, you know, over the creator? And in verse 19 it says, "How much less on them that dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, which are crushed before the moth." So there you go, man.
House of clay being these bodies.
Yep.
Being understanding and given reverence to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but the way we are to obtain Yahweh Shem Yahushua is through the wisdom and knowledge, practicing and rehearsing the righteous acts, finding the mysteries that make you acceptable, to give an acceptable sacrifice on the altar unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You men of Israel who have the fire, all right, and have the want and the desire to come out to camp, all right, a true camp, all right, true doctrine, 100% truth, coming out of GMS, all right, men of valor, brothers like ourselves, continuing in the 100% truth in the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, making your body a living sacrifice. We don't have much time left. Yes, we know not the time or date, but the signs speak loudly and clearly. Prophecy is unfolding continuously. How much more, since just us brothers? How much more from Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah, the elders and the bishops, men who labored in this thing 40 plus years. All right. How much more has prophecy continued to go? The MOTB is speaking loud and clear. The false miracles are starting to speak even louder and clearer, giving you these things, pushing them to the forefront. Hey, and that predictive programming is almost done because you're almost programmed. All right, everything is almost taken place. The upload is almost here for you sheeple, for you people who are connected into the matrix. All right, the upload of wickedness is almost complete for you. All right, your deception and your delusions is it is almost to its highest capacity that you want. All right. Last, there's one more essential: breaking you down and building you back up. The breaking you down is the breaking of this system,
Financial system.
the financial system.
Which, you know, is going down in the pits right now.
Right. Taking all things away from you, not being able to have anything, and then on top of it, starting WW3. All right, taking your men out of the household, taking your sons out of the household, sending them off all right? Taking your children from you. All this is going to lead to greater sorrows than we see now. You think you're crying now? You think shit is tough now?
Just getting heated.
All right?
It just simmer.
Yeah.
You know.
People have no idea.
Said like no time like never before.
Time like never before. Hey, that's why wisdom is crying in the streets. 40 plus years have she been crying. You know what she's going to do? Wisdom is going to go to the hiding place. Enter thou into my chambers for but a little while. That is what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to put wisdom in the chambers, secret. A secret place so you can't obtain her anymore. The famine of the word is coming.
Yeah,
Scripture.
Right? You got it. You can. I mean, y'all brothers can pull.
I didn't know if you had him holding something.
I had him holding the MOTV. The spirit just jumped on me, so you got a script. Just pull it out.
Sorry. This is Job chapter 3, verse 19. Verse 20. It says, "Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter soul." So, why is light given to those that are in misery and whose life is bitter?
Right. The light of the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right?
Because we're suffering.
Yeah, we're suffering. It is the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that provides the light.
Verse 21, it says, "Which long for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than for hid treasures." Verse 22, verse 22, which rejoice exceedingly and are glad when they can find the grave. So verse 23, why is light given to a man whose way is hid, and whom the Most High hath hedged in? So, why does it seem like life that I'm reading NLT, verse 22, it says, "They're filled with joy when they finally die, and rejoice when they find the grave." And then 23, why is life given to those with no future, those the Most High has surrounded with difficulties? So why is it? So why don't we have a life here? Because Yahweh Shemashai chose us out of this world. Because we are not of the world. Okay, our spirit, He has awakened us to this truth, so that way, our spirit resonates with this word, and we understand why we're in this predicament.
Isaiah 43 and 18. It says, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old," right? Because these things are passing. The world you see today is going to be gone tomorrow. Okay, this world passeth away. It says in verse 19, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." Pretty much the Lord, is making the way, a way for salvation, which is going to be like almost never seen before. The as His strange works are. You're not gonna. It's gonna come unrecognizable by divine nature. It's gonna be surreal. But the Most High has given all right the secrets unto the prophets and revealed things for our own preparation. To enter into the unbelievable. That's what our salvation is coming into. Is going to be almost unbelievable unless you have the Spirit on you to believe it. You're not going to expect it. All right. You would never expect salvation to come in the form that it's coming. All right. Or you would have never expected dry bones to be able to live again. The lowest of the low people to return to a status of kings and priests.
This is Psalms 11 and verse 5. It says, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai trieth the righteous, but the wicked in him that loveth violence, his soul hateth.
Right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai hates the wickedness. All right. He's trying the righteous. Ultimately, this is a test to obtain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now, you'll either pass this test because you're ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, or you'll fail this test because you're ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? Jump up to slide 9 and 16, real quick.
Psalms 9 and 16, it says, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his hands. Hegon, Selah.
All right? So Yahweh Shem Yahushai, hey, he's known by his judgments. He's known by, hey, putting forth the judgment on your wickedness and on your righteousness. You know it when you obtain wisdom. You know it when you obtain mercy and grace in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You understand it. All right?
You know, we had an understanding of his judgments. You know, back it says it in Psalms 147th chapter. You know, that understanding and knowledge of his judgments and his commandments, you know, that was for Israel. You know? But we go to these heathen nations, they don't know it. I'll grab a precept real quick. This is Second Esdras.
Proverbs 3, 11 and 12.
The Second Esdras 3 and 36. Actually, I'll start at 35. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight, or what people have kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Right? Hey, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai, hey, specifically said, who? Can you read that again? Just one more time. Slow. He said, who kept his precepts? Who?
Just the last part.
Yeah, just the last part.
It says, thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Israel by name. He, Prince of the Power. He said the name alone goes to tell you who I'm talking about, who kept the precepts.
Yeah.
It is Israel.
And specifically excluded, you know, these other nations.
All right? Giving reverence, hey, and going to show you, yet salvation only belonged unto Israel. He wasn't talking to anybody else but the nation of Israel. All right? Because I have only known you, Israel.
Mm-hmm.
I will punish you.
That's the whole thing that you know, the circumcision, you know, and the stranger, you know, being brought back to Israel, you know, that the mystery of the Gentiles was those Israelites in a heathenistic mindset. You know, it wasn't talking about just a straight up heathen,
Right?
A heathen with a heathen bloodline. No, their bloodline would go back to Israel.
Yeah.
That's why. I'll see if I can find it. You got it.
This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11. It says, my son, despise not the chastening of the power, neither be weary of his correction.
Right. Despise not the chastisement. Right? Because ultimately right now it's a chastisement. Hey, we are chastised to learn good and evil. All right? We're chastised to be judges. Hey, experience is the best teacher. All right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua said, hey, to be a judge, you have to know both sides. How much more, hey, if you've been through it physically, and you got the punishment for doing it, or you got the reward for doing it. Not just someone who studied the book and said, oh, no, I have the credentials.
I have a PhD.
Right. I have the credentials of the law and didn't have to go through anything. How are you fit to push the law if you yourself don't practice it or not under it? That's the wicked Pharisees.
Genesis.
All right.
One of these.
That's the false doctrine, pulpit pimps. All right. These wayward camps. You see, you can always go back how they find themselves exempt from the law in some way, shape, or form. All right. John the Baptist fell out of the truth. He was never in the truth. This, that. All right. Hey, Yahweh Shai is not to be worshipped.
Yeah, they discredit.
Right. You discredit. You discredit the book. You discredit the heritage of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, of the nation of Israel.
Were you done on that?
I had one more.
Finish it out.
This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 12, and it says, "For whom the Most High loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son, in whom he delighteth."
Right. Hey, as Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, as Yahweh Shai corrected Yahweh, as Yahweh corrected Yahweh Shai. All right. And as Yahweh Shai corrected us, it was all the Father's will that we are being corrected. It is ordered. And as you are to correct your sons and your daughters, as we correct the nation through the will and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Adawana Ratazah, we be those men. All right? This is a correction that we are out here telling you, preaching and teaching in the word, in the testimony of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Not of our own will, but of the will of the fathers.
This is Romans 2:14 in the NLT. It says, even Gentiles who do not have God's written law show that they know his law when they instinctively obey it, even without having heard it. And this is speaking about the Gentiles that are Israelite foreigners that took on customs of these heathen nations, but yet with even though they didn't hear the law because they were so far astray from, you know, the ways of Yahweh Bashim al Shad, all right, they were still practicing and doing some of these things that were of the law because it was always in them.
Right.
All right. And that's what that in the KJV it reads that they were a law unto themselves. Like they still knew instinctively that a murder was a sin.
Right.
All right. Or stealing was a sin. You know, they may have worshipped gods because that's what they grew up, and that's what they says. Paul said that in Corinthians, we all were led by dumb idols.
Yep.
You know, he said that, and he was, you know, a Pharisee, as he proclaimed himself to be a Pharisee of Pharisees. You know, that he didn't have the true knowledge until Yahweh Shai opened up his eyes. You know.
Hey, and that's the day. That's the day. if you don't have the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the 100% truth coming out of GMS,
You have no truth.
you have no truth.
It's
We've been so far astray for so long. Hey, you believe on this? You believe on this man's doctrine? You believe on the knowledge of this world? It's gonna get you. Hey, it's gonna get you decimated. It's gonna get you annihilated. That thermonuclear fire, that ICBM. All right. You think you're in a low case now? Shit.
This is 1 Corinthians 2:10. It says, "But Yahweh hath revealed them unto us by by his spirit, for the spirit searches all things, the deep things of Yahweh. You know, speaking of those mysteries of prophecy, understanding of the scriptures. It says, "For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so, the things of Yahweh knoweth no man, but the spirit of Yahweh." So you have to have that Holy Spirit, or hey, you don't have no spirit at all.
Right. Hey,
You don't know the spirit.
right.
If you don't have the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai, you don't have no spirit. All right, you can't break down the scriptures correctly.
You have a soul, but no spirit, right? You don't have the word of Yahweh Shem Shai in you, right? Hey, essentially, Yahweh Shem Shai said, "Who knoweth the spirit but the one who gave?" All right. That's why Yahweh Shem Shai said, "Try the spirit by the spirit."
And so everybody think that they spiritual, you know, you going in, oh, I'm spiritual because I know about the Anunnaki and the Emerald tablets. I'm spiritual because I know how to meditate. You know, I'm spiritual because I know how to do certain things that may elevate you to a certain level in your life. You may be a little bit stable, but you're in darkness without the true light. Still in darkness. Still got dreads. Still following the book of the dead. You know, those things ain't you on no type of level compared to what Yahweh Shai has for his and has on for his people.
Right.
You know.
Hey, and a whoremonger, right? And a whoremonger, because here it is. Hey, you wayward doctrine Israelites, right? You'll have 7, 10, 5 women, all right, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, hey, they all my princesses, and hey, be gorilla pimping on the side, all right, gorilla pimping on the side, or just abominable lewd acts, right? Idolatry, adultery,
A lot of men that have more than one woman, they all sleeping in the same
perversion,
bed.
yeah.
So that's still out of order.
All right.
You know.
Hey, we're not even gonna go any further into that. You know. All right. If you don't know, hey, use your imagination in the cases where abominations come. Look in the book of the law. All right. You got
In Revelations 13 and 15, it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast shall be deleted."
right. That image of the beast is speaking loud and clear. Here it is. The MOTB is knocking at the forefront and now presenting itself in this technocracy to give you the ability to see. They're telling you. They said, "Hey, we're getting this system set up."
Well, Illinois came out with it first.
Right. Hey, we're taking away this money system. We're giving you what are they? Digital coins. All right. We're taking away the physical tender.
Started with the penny.
All right.
Oh yeah, they took away the penny.
We was just talking about that the other day.
But that go into the shit in Revelation. It's talking about the damn. What's the point of the Romans?
Oh, the
denarius.
Yeah. How do you say it?
Denarius.
Denarius. Yeah.
You're thinking of Revelation 6,
Yeah.
where it talks about how a plank for a penny or
Yeah. So that is water.
You can go ahead and pull it.
But that's them taking away the penny.
Yep.
They back then they was making the actual coin less
than weight. So you got to give more.
All right, this is Revelation 6 and 6. And it says, And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. So, like you said, we're going to taking away the money system, starting with the penny, and it's going to go work its way up, and eventually, when that stagflation really does kick in, the high gear, you're not going to be able to afford anything. That paycheck's going to pretty much, one item's going to pretty much cost you your whole paycheck.
Yeah, that's what that was going into.
Yeah.
That a day's wage is pretty much going to be the because you used to get paid a penny, which the apostles went into before. Today is like $200,
Right.
two something,
And most people ain't making that a day.
So,
Already.
but yeah, so that penny, that's what goes into the marriage. All right. But they were making the weight of that coin, they're pretty much defacing it, making it less, it was making it less valuable. Just like paper money today is less valuable.
Yeah.
Now they do shrinkflation. They don't say that the dollar is not a dollar.
Right. You just don't get, your dollar doesn't go as far.
Now that 50-cent bag of chips might have some
75.
crumbs.
75
I don't know if there was a
Yeah.
dude doing a joke, but he was going in Dollar General and popping those bags with like 3 chips in one of those bags. It was all hair. Could have been a joke, but is we not too far from it?
Right. Hey, that's a demolition man.
Oh, yeah.
Taco Bell. You get 4 chips, a little bit of salsa in each chip, and 1 little piece of meat.
And that was luxury.
Right, that was luxury.
Less resources.
Fifth Element. When Bruce Willis was smoking Chris Tucker had the little cigarette, had the pack of cigarettes. It was only like a quarter of a cigarette in comparison to what you get now. You get a whole stick. All right.
Hey, and that's leading into this brother was watching a video with Homestead Prepper. No, that wasn't Homestead. Full spectrum.
Yeah.
Right, and into like that UBI. All this is tied in, to the digital currency coming about, but then breaking the system because they got to break the system to bring in the aid.
Right.
All right, and then after the aid comes, they're gonna cut you off from it. More than likely, unless they cut you off from it, cut you off from the financial system before the aid comes and say this is what you have to do to get the aid.
Right.
But they might let you get a taste of it, cut you off, and say, "Here, take the CHIP, so you could eat again."
Right. That's why they have all these all these coins aren't gonna last. All right. There's not gonna be several coins in one region. Okay. This is going to be universal.
Yeah, because everybody's interconnected.
Right.
Wherever the internet can go, this digital currency is going to go.
That's why it's one world.
Yeah.
Right. That's why it's one world order. All right. Here and what is the new coin they have? New real coin connected to real assets, real gold. All right. Something like that. Don't quote me on that.
Call it what you like.
Call it whatever it is. All right. It doesn't matter. But it's all a process. All right. It's in the preparation of this devil system. Okay.
The main current coins connected to gold are Tether Gold, XAUT, and Pax Gold, PHXG. Both stable coins.
Stable coins. That's what it's called. Stable coins.
Yeah, we're talking about a group of.
Yeah. But it's like they connected to. They say it's connected to real assets. All right. That was it. That's all I needed to run.
Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in the right hand or in the forehead.
Right. So if the financial system is gone, right, you can no longer. Hey, the penny's gone, the nickel, the dime, the quarter. All right. The 50-cent piece, the dollar. If currency, as you know it, is taken away, paper money is taken away, you're only allowed to have your credit card for a second. All right? Your debit card for a second. And then they say, no, this is not good enough. You have it on your phone, and your phone only, through gradualism. And right now you have both of them, because you still have a phone. They're getting, through gradualism, getting used to just tap and pay, tap and go. Hey, you ain't even got to tap. Just walk through the store. Right?
Yeah,
You
places like that.
yeah. And put your information once. Well, pretty soon they're not going to want you to input your information. They want to put the information in you and just pull it out of you by walking. You're being scanned. Just a wave of a hand. All right? That's why all your ATMs and stuff just have a wave of a hand. Your little kiosks at the store, just tap and pay, and it has a hand right there. All right, that symbolism is like modern day hieroglyphs. All right, your McDonald's, your Subways, your Starbucks, your Denny's. All right, the casinos out here, the logos that you see. All right, your Nikes, symbolism. You could tell a story by symbols alone. That's why they have that old game with the symbols. That's why the tunes. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, everybody knows what that is.
Enchantments.
The enchantments. Yep.
They advertisements. That's all sorcery. And they just got to put, something that sound good. They gonna tailor the Jake, make it look good, sound good.
Put a jingle to it. They love it.
Right.
So they could, fulfill they transhumanism goals. Really, the hand is like them settling for less.
Right.
They want complete control over your body, and that starts with your mind.
Right. Hey, that's why a certain person said, "Hey, humans are now hackable." All right. We can now rip them apart.
I think I seen, they going and hey, they made very well. I've seen I know I've seen a article somewhere, starting that they gonna start, in jails, prisons, you know.
Exactly. Because
And that's virtuosity.
yeah. All right. Hey, why? Because you're already their property. It's just like when you sign up for the military.
State property.
Right?
Yeah, and that's Manchurian Kennedy.
Yep.
Which I gotta go back and watch. I never saw the original. Which no, the Manchurian Kennedy. Because they got the one with Denzel, but they got an original that was years before that.
I was since you were on the subject of advertisement, I looked up what is the purpose of advertisement, and it says to inform, persuade, and remind a target audience to create awareness, influence behavior, like purchasing, build brand
to perform and behave. Read it from the beginning again.
The primary purpose of advertising is to inform, persuade, and remind a target audience to create awareness, influence behavior like purchasing,
influence your behavior for purchase, to be used, to direct, to guide, to lead you into the purchase that I want you to have, to go the way that I want you to go.
Yeah, that's Esau's God complex. How the Most High said you were bought.
And it says to build brand image and drive sales or action, ultimately benefiting businesses by generating
sales or action.
You back on the slave, the selling block. And that's the thing. You already, gave them property over you when you got your license.
Right.
Now, it's going to be another contract that allows them making a digital contract. That digital device is going to go now inside of you, giving them the the power and you know, to navigate, you know, your body
Right.
throughout your whole body.
And that's why through all of these, you can't have a job without having some form of identification. You cannot be a part of this man's system and work for a company, a corporation, without some form of an ID.
Yeah, and that goes into you're their property.
Right.
You know, it's the same thing with you
Your
know,
birth certificate.
in slavery, you had your that certificate.
Yep.
The papers
Yeah. Basically,
that showed ownership.
Yeah, your ownership papers. You need to be able to have papers to walk about. A slave did. No different than your ID. That's just your papers that you're able to travel. All right.
And it says also, to finish it off, for advertisement, it says ultimately benefiting businesses by generating leads, increasing profits, and fostering loyalty.
Fostering loyalty. So that you are loyal not only to a brand, that's why you have brand loyalty, right? I like one product over another. I might like Apple and not be an Android fan.
But loyal to the crown.
But yeah, you're loyal to the crown. All right, to the crown of wickedness and not to the crown of righteousness. All right.
It just says that, you know, you had Apple with the digital passport.
Yep.
Now, these are all, you know, signs of where they're going. You know?
Yep.
It's all leading up. Hey, all paths lead to the MOTV.
Right. No difference between neural web, Neuralink, and RFID C-HIP.
Yeah, when you see the store items getting locked up, you need access to them. All right, well, then there's going to be that chip right there.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, well, it's my channel. So. But then there's going to be that device needed for access.
How about Shimi Shai has continuously given us the signs.
It's all foreshadowing of what's to come.
Yep. Hey, ultimately, if you have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, it is those who are here to guide you into the way of Yahweh Shimi Shai, first receiving the Holy Spirit. All right? This devil, hey, is doing this thing because, hey, it is ordained by Yahweh Shimi Shai.
Getting you sellouts to say something that this is something different.
Right.
Saying nothing, it ain't changed. The Lord changed not. Yep. Why would he give the head apostles of Israel, you know, the correct breakdown?
And then change it.
And then now all of a sudden, hey, it's just sin. It's like, that's not it. Stay away from
why
the Shedemites.
That's why the Lord said He would give you
pastors after your own heart.
Yeah.
His own heart.
Men that He ordained and that He chose.
And those wicked, you know, vessels, they gonna seek out those wicked pastors.
Right.
You know.
Hey, because they're gonna look for an excuse, any way to get an excuse.
Then
Yeah. Because basically, easiest way said, hey, they
had wearing sodomites.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, they don't like accountability either. See, a man has to be accountable. All right, you have to stand up for what's right and what's righteous in the eyes of Yahweh Shemi Shai.
They not bold.
Right.
And the Lord sent them a strong delusion. Either one, either you pussied out, all right, or the Lord sent you a strong delusion.
Hey, you could
either way, you in the same lot.
Yeah. Hey, you could be so-called masculine and still be a BLCIH.
Oh yeah.
No, you just act. It's a front.
Yeah, it's a front.
But you know, Wisdom and Solomon 5, so they would be bold in these times. You know.
Hey, Eve is bold when she be barking. She be bold in her barking. Yeah, be loud. Glamorous. Women that know nothing. That's the same essential thing as a bold so-called man. All right?
Well, then you get it from his mom.
Right.
You know, that's that female energy coming around. In all actuality, even out of men.
Right.
You know.
You got it.
Revelations 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Right. Unless you bow down to this man's system and take the RFID him, or if you took the neural web, neural link, Walmart, Blackstone, any of them. If you don't bow down to the way that this man wants you to bow down unto him and serve him as he wants you to serve him, hey, you can't be a part of his system.
Why would you want to?
Right. It's for you to understand and know that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has you, Israel, the faithful, the true, the ones that he loved, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indians, the speckled bird whose father's line goes back, the elect of the nation of Israel is you, who Yahweh Shem Yahushai cares for and wants at this time. 2/3 of the nation of Israel are not going to make it. That's why this is not a save-all doctrine. All of Israel won't be saved. So how much more the heathens outside of the bloodline of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, here on the shores of Babylon the Great, here on the shores of AKA Sodom and Gomorrah, AKA Egypt, here on the shores of America, Rome 2.0. Thermonuclear fire is coming to a to a state near you. WW3 is coming. It's not just Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and all these other leaders are not just blowing smoke. They said we ready for the smoke. The Salvadorian president may have access. This is not factual. Please do your research, look up information. His allies may have provided him with some things. Exactly. Let the weak say they're strong. Might have provided him with some things of a nuclear background. Allegedly. All right. But still has and he will have the ability, allegedly, all right, to do what Yahweh Shem Yahushai puts in him to do. All these people.
Yeah, they can only do what the Lord allows them to. And it's only going to be at that right time that they're allowed to perform, whatever the Most High has them do.
Right. Hey, because no, this devil had a council one time that was on one accord with all these other nations. Now the separation of that council is happening. Has happened.
Yeah, the toes breaking.
The toes are breaking.
The miry clay, part iron, So all that's crumbling.
So how much more when now they're making their own groups and banding together to go against this horde. All right. All right. With that, hey, we're going to go ahead and face the east. Lord willing, was edifying, uplifted. We're going to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children. Listen, learning to the Baish, double dot, the house of David. To the next time we say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abba. Shalom.